So with Dandy, I just want to ask you, with the Yaya people then when they grumble, they say, oh, they do things out there, they do things other side, and they do things for them. So do ya, I want to make you take a few minutes and just explain to me, because me no say you don't do things like when them but give me some ideas of the things that way you don't do for young people there, like when them.
Yeah, thank you very much. The history of help, like Bedembu, it dates back to even my student days, Najala. And even when I don't help so many of my younger ones go through college, I don't help so many of my younger ones get placement in jobs, etc., etc. But more specifically, I've been provide water supply to the whole of Bedembu. I build the market na Bedembu. Make sure say them build the growth center na Bedembu. Pay school fees through my own NGO, where I've been getting my own humanitarian organization where I've been get for hundreds of picking them from primary through secondary school. I get a vocational training institute where I train so many women in basic skills where they help them for become self-employed, tailoring, and those types of things. I support plenty women them when they go through my women's loan scheme and also through my agricultural support program where they give them seeds for where they do a lot of activities. But the most important thing where I they always single out for when them born at the health center. When the rebels then burn down the health center now, when them they also burn down my daddy in Hosna. When them I come from Germany, I come visit. I find out say even though my daddy in house born, at the time my daddy they poach with somebody in the mission house. I say I prioritize over my own personal self. And so I decide for rebuild the health center na Bedembu. And to this day, that is the only health facility where available inside Bedembu. I don't help so many people there from Bedembu forget jobs, etc. So killing will out because I do a lot for Bedembu far in excess
Well, me famble there. When I don't hear it from the horse's mouth. The Unifier, Dr. Richard Konteh, don't outline so many things the way he do. And the thing will strike me where he they answer the question. Now, the fact that everything where he do, now the things there where Motorman cannot live without. If you not get water, you can't live. If you not get good health, you can't live in peace. You not get road, you not go pass for go do nothing. Market no dey. How people then go exchange, how people then go buy and sell. And on top of that, the man don offer scholarship then for hundreds of people then from primary school till then done secondary school. Even the United Nations
yes.
can talk say, yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. I've been just summarize what you say. Even the United Nations can talk say, if you educate woman or if you give woman business, you don't feed not only a family, but a whole village. This man, the Unifier, Dr. Richard Konteh, don't train woman there. From various different things them. It don't help them with tailoring. It don't provide agricultural training, even give them seeds and the things that way they need for start for do agriculture. So me people then are when them move. If you have been don't forget, do it today. This is a reminder. And una the listener there where they online today and we go hear it later. If una hear that talk there, then una go remember this answer where Dr. Richard Konteh don't
And
give.
some of these programs
Answer
are
where
still
he give.
ongoing.
The answer where you know to thing them we hide. Nothing the way anybody will go when them will go see them. But more than all what I talk so, the thing where he talk, where really hit me. Now the fact that he come, he meets them born in that house, them born the health center. In all butu for building that house, now the health center. Waiting do that one day they show say now because number one, it gets in people then art force. In that house, it go be later. But the health center where they serve everybody, now force butu for bill. Me people then up when them dear, and I not forget this. Doc, dear, you want to add anything else to your response to that question there?
And the terminate to politician, oh, the time I do that and enter politics it, and never get any plans for enter politics.
Okay, me fumble then. So Nairi, this might not be even the plan for enter politics, and he's still getting people then out that kind of way. So when I can imagine now what he go do when we butu Biena and send her inside as we flag bearer for APC. Thank you, Dr. Konteh, for that question. Me famble de una they listen to we on www.richardkonteh.com and the content at www.richardkonteh.com where na Dr. Richard Konteh, the Unifier, where they vie for APC flag bearer. Okay, Dr. Konteh, I want to ask you something. I know say, you can travel all over the country. Unfortunately, last week, I been want to ask you this question, but the internet been the key problem. So I'll not be able to ask you. So I want to ask you this question. I know say you can travel all over the country and where they travel, they keep to yourself. You they mix with the people there, you they talk to them, you they waiting at them problem them. Waiting na the thing then where people then they complain say na the problem that we then get na the country and waiting na you plan for try for address some of them problem then the way people then they tell you as you they travel all over the country. Dr. Konteh, you get me, sir? I know say we connection difficult today. Okay, I think say maybe let we play some music first for like 1 minute, some Unifier music, and then we go come back and try for fix the technical issues there what they get experience so today. And soon I know we countries alone, the internet is not very reliable. So we go try for work on and come back to now. We can get some music. Mr. Engineer, you hear me? Okay. Okay. Dr. Konteh, you hear me now, sir?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. I will just repeat my last question. I don't know
Okay.
if you can hear me. I say, I know say you can travel around the country. And when you they travel, you not just they keep to yourself or keep to just the big man there. You they mix with the people them, you they talk to them and you they listen to what then they say. So waiting are some of the complaint the way people then they complain saying that the problem the way then they face na the country, and how you plan for fix some of their complaint that way people then they come up with.
Yeah, thank you very much, Valda. One of the greatest problems where the people and they face that the country, that the general hardship where they are the country. Things, the prices they go up by the day. Now, in fact, we not even get fuel at the country. So, and then they affect transportation costs. They affect the cost of basic commodities. So, any side go at the country, people in the cry say the ground dry, the ground dry, the ground dry. And we also they get a situation wherein people then they face a situation wherein their fundamental human rights are not guaranteed. Then they imprison them unjustly. Then they not allow somebody for talk freely, express himself freely. That they go arrest you and detain you, and then they especially so prevalent among members of the opposition. So a range of issues and where they happen, where they make people them not they feel happy with it. So we feel say when we come into governance, we go really take concrete steps for ensure say we allow make sufficient supplies of basic commodities and day so we can stabilize the prices. Now make we don't talk say one thing we get for do when we come into power for reduce taxes heavily. The current situation where we dey face na this country now that the tax system is very high. Last week, for example, we get a situation where all the traders they lock shop, they refuse for sale because simple like GST, where it's supposed to be 15%, and an end use tax, which means they're supposed to charge them at the point of end use, where you go buy the retailer, they tell you for pay you your GST. But then they insist say you for pay the GST na the port in the first instance. So when you dey import, you dey pay GST. When the importer bring a car na in shop, if in a wholesaler, when you dey sell am back wholesale to the retailer, he dey pay GST. Then the retailer again will get a shop where maybe the turnover of the shop exceed 200 million per annum, instead they pay GST back. So by the time they don't go through this chain, the commodity, the tax alone, GST alone, don't be 45%. And naturally, the trader, he get to add all of those costs to the commodity before he sell them. So all of these things, they make the price of basic commodities, they skyrocket by the day. And government not seem for they do anything concrete about it. They're just obsessed with this idea of increasing taxes, raising money from taxes, when in reality, they are robbing Peter to pay Paul. And this is a very serious problem. We don't basically ground everybody at the country. And if you get a situation wherein salary structure at the country not able allow you for survive for a month, then we get a very serious thing for contend with. We also get a situation wherein the overall educational system where your main project where then they boast about free education. There's nothing free and there's nothing quality about it. If our things don't become even more expensive, but more importantly, the quality of education, it also go down the drains that even public exams are nothing to write home about these days. No more credibility even in the exams where WAEC they conduct. And if we can degenerate to that level, then we'll not even get a yardstick for able to determine which students are good, students are bad. And when you go around the country in terms of provision of basic services to the country, now we even take, say, the flagship rate of the APC, where there be roads. Now we see a situation wherein they're the only fixed roads or the only roads where they make now roads where Konteh they in their strong roads. And even those ones that just projects the way they inherit. We don't see anything new for help for improve upon the infrastructure for improve upon the water supply, for improve upon the healthcare facilities and the country, etc., etc. So the situation, everybody all around the country, they cry, oh, we are sick, perhaps we go to Ghana, as we go India, those types of things. It's terrible. Basic water supply. You go na Freetown, for example, now lights no day. You can na Makeni, maybe they enjoy 24 hours lights no day. You go all over the country, lights no day. So if you get to where light no day, water no day, medical facilities they go down the drain, health schools, educational institutions, from the primary to the university, standards they drop by the day. To get a situation in the country, really pathetic. When you go around the country, these are the things we keep hearing with people in the talk on a daily basis, and it's very worrisome. When we come, we will ensure say when we say they provide free quality education, for example, we will make sure that the infrastructure we needed for that idede, we will make sure say the teachers are well trained, well remunerated for be able for perform their functions and then get a full dignity. We can ensure say we build more classrooms, well spaced classrooms. We can ensure say the universities we build more buildings for accommodate the increased number of students who go to university. We for pay the lecturers well, make them not get calls for results to other types of activities just for make they're able to make a living, and we go ensure say even those students we not able to afford. I mean, we don't hear this government say they want to do a loan scheme. We go implement the loan scheme where they try for road able do, but we go do one in a way where it go be affordable. So we get for ensure, say, first of all, even the fees what they charge will be reasonable and they will be commensurate with the standard of living in the country. You know, get a country the minimum wage now 6 exorbitant fees. It's not just realistic. So we'll work on that and ensure that those things are solved once and for all. We go fix more roads, we go provide water supply, we go provide more bed spaces, but more importantly, we will ensure say most of those diseases for which we get calls for they go abroad for seek medical treatment, we will make sure say we provide those services locally in this country so that we people them go able cure themselves now in ways we don't go afford that nobody not go die unnecessarily in this country.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh, for the clear plan then day for answer the people then cry. I think say everybody where they cry belle, and then do yeri now waiting you say and how you plan for implement some of the changes we go bring relief, we go give with people then blow. Um, Number one, you talk about the school and they talk about free education, and then they talk about quality education. But right now we know say the free no the quality no day, and you don't talk say you as a government go implement the infrastructure, which means all the things that we need for day for let it go work. When I go make sure say then things and day when I go make sure say teacher then train them properly and then pay them properly, because when you know pay teacher you not get for teach better in a school, so then go pay them properly, and you go make sure say the school fee self with then they charge, if not school fee then they charge, and not go pass waiting people they able for afford. So we not go they charge people their money way they don't know side and get for go pull them because they not get them. Even when they work, they're not able for afford them. Then also you don't talk say for the university then back when I want for increased classes. That's amazing because people if people then they begin for graduate from high school, then yes, if they want to go a university they need space now university, so for increase the class then university then. And then also for the one the way there are where then people then get okay, we tell God thank you for them. Then go pay, then go school and waiting. But the one that we not get for make sure say then go able for lend money from the government and for pay, use that money they for pay for let themselves go get opportunity for build up so that themselves young picking them by tomorrow will live better life. And then I think say the most important thing where Dr. Konteh say, I mean famble then, I think say this now one thing where we all they cry for. Then half disease then, where people then get for comot salon for go other country, for go find medicine, that this government will make sure say inside we own country the medicine then they we will get them, we will make sure say the people then go hospital and go get the treatment where they need. They not get for come out inside salon for go get treatment. We tell God thank you for that. And Dr. Konteh, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Um, you get anything else we want to add on that particular topic there, sir?
Yeah, I want for delve a bit more into the health sector. You
Yes, sir.
know, make the mistake or think say will not get the expertise. One thing we are glad for is that every Sierra Leonean we don't go abroad for go study, we don't excel, which means we get the competence, we get what it take for do what we need for do. Two, we get so many Sierra Leoneans out of the country when are health professionals where they excel in their various fields. So training capacity not a problem. Wetin are the problem na Sierra Leone oftentimes na the equipments where they need for able do proper diagnosis so that they go do proper treatment. Two, they need the refresher training because every day new things they can, new ideas they come, they need for build up those capacities. So one thing what we could do immediately when we come into governance for bring together key doctors across all sectors, let's try to see which are the diseases for which you often send people abroad. When we don't know them, we say, why you not able to treat an area, you get for send the person go abroad. They will tell you. Why did it refer abroad? What they abroad will not get Naya. So whatever it is, we then get abroad, where we not able to get Naya, we will try for get that. So that when we they engage with partners, when we they engage with the monetary institutions for try for get resources for we development, we will be informed by what is needed. Not to for make person can just say we get something for give you. No, with a request for what we need, so that we go to respond to we all felt needs, not to just accepting anything where they bring. And but that will only happen when we plan properly and when we plan it will be based upon an informed document. So I think I will bring in Miss Small, professional background as a strategic planner for help with government for plan properly so that when we they even make requests with the partners that will make the help in those areas we will get the greatest need. And I think say we get the medical school now, then they train, now we don't go a step further, then they even specialize now inside this country. What's needed now the equipments, diagnostic equipments, the equipments there for do the necessary operations. And then of course we forget the accompanying social amenities, the power we they need, the improved network system, the improved ambulance services, the improved general infrastructure way for go for support a proper health system like a country. So we can't forget a fully automated and fully integrated healthcare system in the country so that anybody, anywhere where they go able to get treatment. One thing I always tell me friends that we discuss is that if somebody can afford for left salon and go to India or go seek medical help, then it means that person will get any difficulty for left feet or for go Kailang or go seek that same medical help. So we don't need therefore for crowd all the facilities inside Freetown. We could spread these specialist centers all over the country. And where government and with partners not able for financer or not get the resource for financer, we go attract the private sector. I know, for example, say when I've been there in government, we be to get those interests being expressed from different quarters. I remember where I've been leading a government delegation to India for the one of the fora there where I go make a presentation. I received so many people who come and show an interest for come and can invest in specialist healthcare services inside this country. And some of them come, we refer to the Ministry of Health. But so we therefore encourage more and more of this and provide the conducive atmosphere for make the private sector pump in a lot of resources. When you go to Ghana, you go to Nigeria, you go to other countries in Africa, might not even compare in the West, most of these specialized medical services are provided by the private sector. So we therefore encourage the private sector for invest into the health sector for make sure that we provide these services, not to everything government need for do. Even in terms of basic water supply systems. You know, when I was chief of staff, one day the Egyptian ambassador to Sierra Leone, he can't visit, so he can't pay me a courtesy call. So he asked me, say, Richard, I never understand one thing. I say, wait. He said, why Freetown forget water problem when I get this ocean? I said, what do you mean? He said, I don't know, we desalinate the water. So which means we can take water direct from the ocean, desalinate them, purify them, and pump it into the homes. Around the world now, the technology exists for do that. I understand, say, in America, most of the water supply systems in plenty places are localized, which means we can do within communities, we can do boreholes, we mount pump the water into tanks, and then we use gravity for distribute the water around the cities. So there are so many things, and the groundwater not too far. The aquifer not too far, and we get to a situation where we can have these facilities at affordable costs. You know, I think so. We're going to do a lot more on the. We will just set up the public-private partnership unit within the office of the president. Then I did in the vice president's office, but at the same presidency, those offices get for work better. And I'm not saying now we even get a whole agency for private sector development, but we already see much happen in terms of private sector being involved, maybe for different reasons. For make the private sector really come and put their money inside any country, then get for be sure say the contract where then they enter into is guaranteed. That one governor will just count more tomorrow, he just cancel the contract, they can't then terminate all the mining companies already in operation under the previous government. This government can terminate all. That is not how government operates. Government is continuity. So we get to make sure say the investors the way they come, they be sure say when they sign a contract, that contract will be respected by successive governments. Secondly, we get to look at the internal rate of return, the IRR. Every private sector, now businessman, they now money they want to make, not a charity that they come for. So we get for look at the tax regime. We not get the most attractive situation, either social infrastructure, financial infrastructure, physical infrastructure. We don't get the most attractive when we're able to outcompete with neighboring countries. So therefore, we get to make sure say with tax regime, it reflects that reality. So that if we tax regime is very attractive, where they make the businessman know say if he put his money in there, so he go make profits, then yes, they will come in and they go invest, and then we will get what we did as a country. They will create the jobs for we own people there as a country, and then we can tax those people, and then we can make money. Now, only when government tax the private sector, reasonable taxes, then they make money. Not when government be the largest employer, you employ people, you collect pay, that's your money to income. But when the private sector come in with their own private capital, they invest them inside this country, they create jobs. Then when they pay their royalties, they pay their other corporation taxes, and they pay other dues to government, then government they will get the money we need for finance other activities. So we go make sure say we attract private sector into this country so that most of these issues where we feel we're not able to fix now because they say we will not get money, there's a lot of capital out there in the open market where we were able to attract as a country. But for make that happen, the investor get to be assured that there is peace in the country, there's stability in the country. You don't go afraid say, oh, tomorrow coup go for them, oh, tomorrow fair to go for them, oh, tomorrow chaos go there in this country and I go lost everything. Nobody know for loss. So we get for reassure our investors and we get for create that conducive atmosphere when all of that happen. Unfortunately, from the get-go, then this government begin for parade uncertainty. The first statements that will come from the when they take over in April 2018, now for say the country bankrupt. Or everything about the past government was bad. Everything. You know they come in that way they a USSF undermine the very government where they can for can lead. I go give people then confidence for come and put their money inside that system there. Anybody the member say for kind, they begin afraid. They say, hey, I know they kind into a system where very soon the whole economy go crumble and everything will be messed up. So we care for make sure say we create that environment where they show say there is stability, there is peace, and there is guarantee the contracts that are signed will be honored, and there's guarantee say I will able make money now, yeah? And when I make money, I will pay the required taxes, and the country will develop, and we all will be happy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. You don't say a whole lot of things, and just in case any one of we listener they miss them, una they listen to the Unifier Hour with Dr. Richard Konteh, the Unifier, where they vie for APC flag bearer. And he just answered the question about waiting they happen now the country where people then they cry belebot, and he don't tell me some of the issue there where the people in the cry belebot, then he don't give me some of the plan that we in get for address some of the issue there. And I think the biggest one are the economy. And I'm not going to say everything where he say, but I think say a couple of things that we he mentioned now that them especially with healthcare, where people then get for the come out inside salon for go India and go other country then for go fen medicine and fen well body. It don't talk and say if they're able for pay that money they for go, then go able for travel within the country. So one of the things that we he mentioned, he said, well, now go just grab and say, oh, allow build hospital, allow build this and allow make him. He said the first thing we'll go do, we'll call all the experts then together. He said, first of all, saloon, we're not lacking human resources when it comes to medical personnel. He said we get plenty within our diaspora. We properly trained, well trained, and then they do very well outside and they work. Whether a doctor there, nurse there, no matter who's kind medical personnel, we get them as Sierra Leonean there. And even the one that inside Sierra Leone, they're self well trained. So then we'll sit down with them and ask them, waiting are the things then where una the lacking, where make una the send people then go out of the country for well body. Once they don't get an answer there, then go address them properly, because now they know what's wrong. The one that way they inside the medical system, don't tell them say now this now a problem, then go able for address that problem they then don't cope with. And then main thing now that we not get better equipment, we not get better machine there where they help the doctor then for find out what thing they do people them, or for even for help with surgery, then thing then they where they want to do operation. So then kind of thing and they it don't talk say we go able for finance the thing and they and bring some of them thing and they can inside the country. Then it talks say with respect to the economy. Oh no, before that the last thing we say about the health system we really hit home with me. Now that then go build the specialist center there now according to how the one day where they inside the medical system don't tell them say now this we need, now this we need, but they're not go just build all in a freetown. Then go build all around the country so that all side go they get people then for candy. They're not get for just can't crowd na freetown no more. And then he say for let we able forget the kind of funding what we need na salon then high price they are and everything. He say for let we stabilize the price, then that means for let the price then sit down at one place. We need for get enough of the things the way we need. If na rest, let we get enough rest. If na permine, well permine na salon in the make am. But if na anyway they bring can inside, we need for get enough for let the price sit down one place. And for let and they be the government need for get money. The way the government they work right now real money then they turn. They know they earn any extra income. For let the government earn income, for let the government make money, they need for bring private sector. But for bring private sector, you get for assure the businessman or the businesswoman where go cancel, I can put me money in a salon for do business. You get for make sure say then go believe say just no one no go count for them. Just no cool no go count for them. Just no problem no count for them. Then I losses all my money. We get for make sure say we country stable. On top that, we get for make sure say the tax system where we they use. When we look the other country they near we, Nigeria, Ghana, all the other West African country them. We get for make sure say we own tax system self, then they able for compare. They not go look Ghana and say, no, if I put me money and I go do better than if I put me money at salon. Then get for able for look and say, well, I think say salon go better for me. So we get for do that one day. We get for change the tax regime for let we go able for attract, for draw them, let them come to we. And now the only way that they, because when them bring the money now, then can put on, then begin business. Now from that tax day, now they government, they get couple. Not to where with the tonton with money. Then they now will money no more with the tonton. But if you want for bring extra money can inside, now for attract the private sector. And yeah, so now then thing and then no more. I just want to make una remember what Dr. Konteh don't say. Will they look for we leader? Will they look for we potential president? Will they look for we flag bearer of this we wonderful APC party? And as we they listen to Dr. Konteh, me every day while they listen to him, more and more are they be more and more convinced say Dr. Konteh now we only viable option for flag bearer for the APC party and for president for 2023. Now, in the only viable flag bearer, we go able for carry this with APC party back to power 2023. So, mi family, then una they listen to the Unifier Hour on www.richardkonteh.com, Konteh with a K, www.richardkonteh.com. Dr. Konteh, just know what you've been they talk. You mentioned something about continuity of contracts. Say when we don't sign contract, we for able, whether there's a change in government or not, then contract and the people that we sign out with for able for get the belief say once I sign contract, it no matter whose government they in power, me contract valid. Me contract and no just can't stop them. But not also
Properly
be with this.
executed contracts. You know, in government, we get what they call due process.
Mm-hmm.
Before you award a contract, there is a tendering process where you get for go through in a very transparent process, properly documented. So if the company don't go through all that process, then it will be guaranteed for say that contract don't go parliament. Parliament don't ratify them. That contract has to be respected. If, on the other hand, of course, we get contracts that will not follow due process, that's a different story. This has to be addressed the same way they award them, and the same way they go address them. But the one that will follow due process up to parliamentary approval, those ones have to be respected because now that they make we a stable country, and that will make we a country where everybody go gladly for do business with.
Yes, sir. Well, now exactly that they have been want to ask because we don't see this kind scary stuff happen where this last government take over, then sack everybody where they feel say no to them passing, they replace them with their own people them, and so then they definitely they affect them kind of thing in there. And I mean just want lay down the front and ask you, waiting you go do differently we go build this kind assurance where they talk about for them kind contract and they where they don't properly vet.
One thing where may government not go do now for condone reckless impunity. Where somebody recklessly decide for do the wrong thing. Not say we go come and condone her. So the excesses, the clearly wrong actions where they don't take or refuse for take, I believe those ones will be addressed using proper channels for addressing them. But me not believe say anybody we don't get in job through the right process for be deprived of that job day because of a political party affiliation. I don't think say it right. In the same way, anybody we lost in job just because of a political party affiliation, I don't think say that they equally right. That person they deserve the right for getting job back, and they deserve the right for go through in tenure based upon the contract we sign. If it fall short of expectation and they go through the required disciplinary process and they remove them, no problem. But that way, if say that not happen, I think say it could be unfair if that person they not get the opportunity for see through in contract. So it will not be a sack in jamboree. I don't believe in that. But clear cases of abuse will be addressed using the appropriate channels. But we go ensure say, make you always say, part of the reason why would they get all of these problems with successive governments or with this particular government, because successive governments, with this particular government, we then get for sack everybody for make them bringing the people there. Now, because everybody they look normal for eat from one basket. Government that the sole employer. Now, they didn't make the get job. So therefore, if you self-car, you want many people then get job, you go for pull the old one they put. That is not right. It not ever happen in the issue of Sierra Leone at the level where it happen under there. So we go for make sure say that not happen again. And one way where I go make sure say in future that not happen again, we could get a strong, vibrant private sector. If the private sector is strong and the private sector become the largest employer, then governments can come and go. You don't need for sack policy. Where government don't give me job, I don't go private sector, I will get job. Once I get my qualification. You see, because we not agree allow people to make them train and get the requisite qualifications, therefore get jobs in the private sector, then it causes the problem. And secondly, because we not allow the private sector to come in and can do the investment and create the jobs for people therefore go in, we get to have a problem. And the last week I've been telling say one problem what we get, even to educational system, is that it is not tailored to respond to the needs of our market. Let's say, for example, the mining companies. Simple thing like an industrial welder will not get out of this country. As they bring experts. So that make when we set up the local content law and put in the law for say 20% of all top level positions for be Sierra Leoneans, 50% of middle level for be Sierra Leoneans, and 100% of lower level. It was with the assumption that we go adapt we educational system for ensure say we able for train the people there for filling these positions. It was also with the we go able attract we Sierra Leoneans the way they in the diaspora.
Doc, I don't know if you hear me, but it look like say maybe you they get a call and the call they interrupt. If you can just back up a couple of a few seconds after you talk about for attract the private sector, start from there again because you went quiet. Oh, we still not hear you, sir. We still not hear you, sir. Check your phone if you're on mute, sir. Okay. Well, me famble then. Doc been explain to we. Okay. It been explain to we. Waiting. The cause then the kind wala where we see where this last government kind side where they sack people they not to come on for put their own people there inside. It's say one of the biggest reason then because government are the biggest employer. And if we're able for move away from government being the biggest employer, which means for develop the private sector, for make sure say we get boku people then when the way they in a private sector where they can hire people there. That kind of problem they no go the government will come, government will go, people they no go the afraid because they know say whether or not they in party, they in power, then go get job. If they not get job na government, then go get job na private sector. But he also talk one thing. He say the assurance for get work is not supposed to depend on whether you party they in power or not. Because when you party they in power or not, the president na president of everybody, not a president of one party. Not everybody in president. So he say it's not right for let it be say, pass your own party dey in power before you can sit down suffer na your government job. So we know say Dr. Konteh not agree with any kind policy then they. And it talks say if we get and develop a strong private sector, then self go begin for contribute to employment. And if then become the largest employer, even bigger than government, then people they not get for free, then kind free then they. Dr. Konteh, you can take up from this, sir. Dr. Konteh, we still not there, you, sir. So I will just continue. He also talks say the when government are the sole employer, then all man not go able get job because government not get the ability for hire everybody. So now this now the reason we make a one for bring in the private sector. And the last question he also talks say for let we able for bring in the private sector, we get for make sure say the taxation system where we they put pan them viable, attractive for them, then self go able for look that tax system there and say yes, okay, this go work for me. But if they're not able for look the tax system and say this go work for me, they're not go cancel we. They will go other country then because other country then they where then self they look for private sector for can invest now West Africa. So he say even explain to we. Okay. Let's just finish this thought. If they explain to we say when they import goods, by the time when they don't tax and at the port, then they tax and at the wholesaler, then they tax and back at the retailer, the tax don't become 45%, almost half of the price. And if then they not stop, price go always high. Dr. Konteh, you can take her up from this, sir.
Yeah, there are two issues now. You don't make a
I've been
talk
just
first about
summarize waiting you say
no,
about some of the things that we need for do for attract the private sector and
I
that
know,
the taxing system need for be
I know.
attractive to them. Yes, sir.
Yes. But make a talk first about the other issue where we talk about the private sector and jobs
Yes, sir.
and how it related to the curriculum. I say we get for we will set up the local content law. We be the envisage reserving positions for Sierra Leoneans. But the Sierra Leoneans, they also forget the qualification for those jobs. So therefore, we get for tailor with curriculum and with educational system for being able to provide those skills. I give the example for say, even a simple issue like an industrial welder will not get out of this country. Pass then get for bring an expatriate. So part of this will be they do what be there as Minister of Trade, that before engage with the mining companies, for me them build into the program as part of the corporate social responsibility, they can pass the building program, wherein they could train Sierra Leoneans in those types of areas where they need for the activities. Make I give you the example of I'll give you the example of Chevron at the time. There be one kind of Sierra Leone for can do some activities. Chevron then decide for invest in training Sierra Leoneans locally at the university. Now that's the big one for do. But they not succeed for that program will not be sailed through. But that is the type of thing where we go try for do for make sure say they can come in, train the people, use them again in the mining company. We also get the program where they send Sierra they're out for go train in the relevant fields for come back and can work. So that is very, very important. So we initially send some of the best students that out like how the Southeast Asians then do, where they send them people them go to America, Europe for go train. Some are still the biggest professors in America and in Europe, but then some return home and become the biggest scientists in their countries. So we will do a similar thing for try for make sure say that's not happen. At the same time, we will also make sure say we attract with students the way they out from where the cities the way they for come back home and work, because clearly life will be better for them. So that is it about the job issue. We can go further into it some other time. But on the issue of taxes, where I will try for say, with tax system at this country is killing. The import tax itself is killing, it's prohibitive. It they make plenty people they decide for for going to smuggling. They would rather decide for smuggle than things they're out of the country, into the country through Guinea or other means, or will just end up for empower the tax collector, where you can bribe how many things that come in just so that people can break even. We go try for make sure say with tax system, including even the duty at the port, is low enough so that everybody will come in. Secondly, we go do maybe a 16 or a 24-hour shift at the port. And we go make sure say every serious bank gets a branch right there in our Taki, so that round the clock you declare when you goods they can at the port, enough for sleep. If we get 24-hour service at the port, the same day you declare your goods. They can 8 hours, then go. Another team can 8 hours, then go. Another team can 8 hours, then go. Round the clock. Things have to go fast. And if the systems they're lower, there was a time where Mali, we want for use Sierra Leone as a transshipment port. In fact, that we prioritize the Makeni Madina Ula road, so that when for us fix that road, it is shorter for the Malians for import through Freetown than for import through Conakry. So, and huge benefits they did from this type of activity. So we get for try for do those things for make Sierra Leone will become attractive. 3, I say this GST 15%. If you not apply them correctly, it end up to be 45 or 60% even, as the case may be. I was acting Minister of Finance the day when we launched GST. And I remember Tanu Jalo, when I've been the chairman for the National Importers Association of Sierra Leone, he be the advocate at the time for saying, instead of we levying GST at the point of end use, let we levy them straight away at the port. It was an either or thing. It was not meant to be this and this. It was either we tax them at the port, where possibly they bring in, he pay GST, and that's it. Because that whatever he don't pay as GST, it add up to the cost of the commodity before ever he sell it. Mm-hmm. So if this man don't pay GST in the port, he don't add that cost to the commodity. He can put it in shop for sell. Charge they get GST be 30%. If the thing for if a wholesaler don't pay GST 15%, they bring a kind of shop, then the retailer self can't buy the back. It don't be 30%. Then instead for you go sell, you go add back 15%, it'll be 45%. So these types of things, now all of that responsible for the high prices. And we need to put that under control. And it's not easy for make you say the businessman for just transfer the cost to the consumer, because it's prohibitive. And if the consumer not get the money for pay for these goods, end of story. So if they get goods in the shop, nobody know they can't buy it. That make you can see once the trader in Abacha, they just explode into a shouting competition over their plight. Because I mean, you left the host, you go to market all day, nobody know they can't buy. If you tell you pack the market back, you go to the house. How long do you live on that day? Business get for the flow. When business the flow, money they exchange hands, then they say economy buoyant. But what did they happen in our country? Let God sorry for we. And as if that's not bad enough, and the say they were really nominate the Leone. And I see they don't begin post samples of the Leone. Let God sorry for we.
Okay, sir. Well, wow. That was a 1 hour gone by very, very quickly. Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh, for where you don't enlighten we on this tax system. Wow, it's not to alter we they understand what to make price then so high. But thank you so much where you don't give me some understanding yanda, and you don't also outline some of the steps the way you go take as leader for bring down the cost of goods for let people then go able for survive with their market and with their everyday life. Dr. Konteh, the term don't reach for let we wrap up. And I want to give you a couple more minutes
No, feel free.
for address.
Feel free to continue.
I'm sorry, sir.
You can
I know
continue.
you're
I'm okay. We can continue.
okay. Well, okay. In that case, make I ask you one more question, sir. Um, well, we know say Salone right now. Um, the division, the splintering of the country, the division along tribal lines, party lines, and all that day is so evident. And we know say, even you just mentioned say some of the things that we people then they complain about now that they're not getting much for talk again. Even outside them they team up together for talk say, well, I don't this not right, they're not do so. People they know they get mind for talk again because as they talk so then go arrest them and throw it in a dark place. Um but one particular tribe they where definitely they feel the pressure, they feel, especially the one that we don't cut out and talk say, me people them. This tier where they be so not good though, because this we tribia go become target. So this particular tribia they feel targeted, and then they feel like say, Bambai, if this power regime not there again, and we APC can't to power, that this then go be targeted. I want let you allay them fears over this kind thinking. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Valda, for bringing up this issue. In fact, one of the main reasons why I come back into politics now for address this anomaly. Part of the reason why they refer to me as a unifier, that precisely because I get an intention for address this anomaly. I not believe say anybody for be disenfranchised, for be disadvantaged, or for be prevented from actualizing in own fullest potentials just because it belongs to one tribe. And I not also believe say just because the leaders or the privileged few in a particular tribe don't misuse the opportunity where they get in governance, you for therefore lord them over everybody else from that tribe. I not believe say every member of that tribe necessarily subscribe to that position or to those actions. I'm saying this because I get friends from different tribes, and I get friends that we belong to some of these tribes, but do not agree with some of these things the way they happen, even in this current situation, because we all know the people the way they lost their jobs, the people the way they lock up, me being one of them, the people the way they disenfranchised, people the way they suffer as a result of this change of God, etc. Believe me believe say enough is enough. Such must not be allowed to continue. Sierra Leone, for once, get a breath of fresh air. And me come back into politics for a short say we get a fresh start as a country. Let we get back that country, Sierra Leone, we say all man they feel good with the neighbor, regardless of person in political affiliation, regardless of person in tribe, regardless of person in region where you come out. We as Sierra Leoneans, Sierra Leone is the only country we have. Let us enjoy it. And waiting a unifier government under the APC will guarantee that precisely that. We will guarantee a situation wherein every Sierra Leonean will be given an equal and unfettered opportunity for actualize in fullest potentials. They will not go allow make any Sierra Leonean be unduly treated. That said, I also want to say where there have been clear cases of injustice, clear cases of infringement upon people, the individual rights as Sierra Leoneans, it also incumbent upon we for make sure say we right some of those wrongs. But on the whole, we believe say we forget a country where everybody get an equal and unfettered opportunity for actualize the fullest potentials, regardless of a tribe, regardless of a region, regardless of even in party affiliation. Make Sierra Leone be we all young, and let we all work to make Sierra Leone a better place for we all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. Me famble there when they listen to the Unifier Hour on www.richardkonteh.com, the Unifier Hour on www.richardkonteh.com. I just asked Dr. Konteh about this tribe where they feel disenfranchised and they afraid say something will be targeted when we APC come into power 2023. And Dr. Konteh says something very, very distinct, very clear. He say nobody, not forget a fear day, because as an APC government under the Unifier, nobody no go get the cause for feel that way they because in aim na for give Salone a fresh start where everybody, regardless of tribe, region, political affiliation, go feel like say now we country because now one grain salon we get and now we all young. So me famble there, it don't talk say also that yes, if injustice then been there and then clear, then and I detain that back for right then injustice and day, but also it don't clearly talk say nobody na salon not for feel like say they not belong just because of tribe or just because of outside and day na the region na the country or just because of them political backing. No, and it don't talk and clear one say power not a thing for abuse. So thank you so much, Dr. Konteh, for that response there. um I just want to give you maybe a few more minutes for really address the any potential delegates then where they listen to me right now, especially the APC delegates then we get for go cast and vote very soon. I want give you an opportunity for address them right now and tell them why make Nayuna the only viable candidate for let them vote for flag bearer. Wait to make Nayuna the one we go carry APC go back to power 2023. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Valda. But before I answer your question,
Yes, sir.
I get an issue where disturbing, where I want for address. We all know, say, me, young person, and me campaign don't come under attack for the past several years. Me personally, they don't use all types of invectives against me. They don't say all types of things against me. But one thing we campaign don't consistently stand for now that we no go allow ourselves make anybody bring we down to the gutter with them. If he don't choose for day down there, make him stay there. But we go take the moral high ground. And if I can quote from Michelle Obama, he say, when they go low, we go high. Now that we believe in the Unifier team. Today I come across an audio where somebody where they claim for being my supporter, they say because of the cost where they cost me, ain't go respond. I want for beg the person. Yeah, if you are truly a supporter of the Unifier, if you are truly a supporter of Dr. Richard Konteh, do ya not cost anybody in mama for mistake. The one that we don't decide for go down to the gutter, make them stay there. Let us not go down with them. Let we continue for maintaining the moral high ground, and let we continue for appeal to them, for make them see reason why they foresee we all as comrades in the APC. And that just because somebody don't decide for exercise a own rights as a citizen of this country and as a member of the APC, not for be a basis for which we go decide for rain invectives on the person. The Unifier campaign no go ever retaliate in like mind. I have to appeal to all my supporters there. We've done very well. We've come this far. We are almost there. Let not allow anybody for bring me down. I be beg una. And then now on the issue of me delegates, me people them. Thank God, this past Monday, the 7th, we constitution, they don't gazette them. On the 24th of this month, it mature 14 days, and we begin use them from the 25th of this month onwards, which means very soon thereafter, in April, most likely, we will start the process of a lower level elections. In that lower level elections, every APC member will get the opportunity for elect the leader of his choice. And the leaders that they elect at the ward level, that they get for elect the constituency executive. We get for elect the district executive, we get for elect the regional executive, and then all the delegates get for go to a national delegates convention for go elect national officers. And then later on, we get the convention for elect with flag bearer. This is a shift in the dynamics. In the 1995 constitution, now the big one there, now they pick person, they say nine this, nine they lead now. Whether you sabi amo, you know sabi amo, nine. That is 1995 constitution. In the 2022 constitution, we, the members of the APC, we, the rank and file of the party, now we the pick person. We go give the big one there, say that the person this, that we believe, which means we get for search we minds properly. The worst mistake we will make now for hand over party to a stranger. The worst mistake we will make now for hand over with party to person we not believe in the APC. We not believe in what the APC stand for. We not believe in the suffering of the ordinary man, the ordinary woman of the APC. We get for elect somebody we don't demonstrate over the years an unflinching loyalty to the APC. And we don't say, for we in most recent times, we get for ask ourselves, would they remember no more as far as 2007? The other times we don't remember too much. We've been too young, most of we, for remember. But let's ask ourselves, anybody we want with power now, we'll ask ourselves, who said he been there before 2007? Who said he been there between 2007 and 2018? Oh, then power. Waiting have been the person in relationship with we party. Waiting if we don't do for we party, to make a party come to power, to make a party be waiting be today. And then after 2018, when we party don't go through all of these things, let me ask yourself, waiting this person don't do for defend and articulate the position of the party through difficult times. Where will they get all the challenges as a party? These people who want for big flag bearer, who side and they? Where we party they face the test in various by-elections all over the country. These people who want for big flag bearer, who side and they? When we answer those questions objectively, not support me because me are your brother, not support me because me you come out of the same district, not support me because me come out of the same region. Look at we and assess we objectively and say, hey, this Maya, he been there before 2007 for first for APC for kind of power, yes. 2007 to 2018, in and out of government, this person here, he be stand with and for the APC, yes. After 2007, 2018, where APC lost power, this person here, he be still believe in the APC and ready for defend the APC and stand for the APC, yes. This person here, this 2023 election, when a do or die election for the APC, this person here go able to lead we against the APC and give me victory, against the SNDP and give me victory, yes. This person here were able to defend with votes. Will not get a repeat of 2018, yes. I believe say Richard Konteh don't tick all of these boxes as yes. Therefore, they invite you now all for allow the Unifier for lead the APC party against the SLPP. I'm not going to rest on the oars until I bring everybody together, including even we elder ones where they try for left party. We not go rest until we bring them all together because we believe say we will need a united APC for make we win the 2023 elections. And who can do it better than the Unifier himself? So vote Dr. Richard Konteh, the Unifier, as flag bearer for the APC for the 2023 presidential elections. God be our helper.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. Thank you very much. And on that note today, we will bring we broadcast to an end. Thank you all we listeners. On this broadcast recording will be available on all we social media outlets them. So I invite una all for take them and share them. Make una listen to them, una discuss among una family them, una local executive and diaspora executive who's on Sabide on sharing all the APC group them because now Dr. Richard Konteh now the only flag bearer aspirant we get the wherewithal for carry APC go back to power in 2023. Thank you so much and goodbye.
Thank you very much. Good night.